1. In Japan, if a child living overseas comes back temporarily during the summer or another vacation, they can attend an elementary school for just 1 month in a special trial enrollment. My distant relatives, the M family, and the spiritually gifted L family, mediums, both lived in City A, which is a bit farther out from City I. Every year in July, a half-Japanese child named Evangeline, hereafter, Eva, would come to City A hoping to join this trial enrollment. This is the story of that time. Perhaps the ancestors of the L family and Eva's ancestors share the same origin. Or maybe the L family simply settled down earlier than the other wandering shamans. I spent as much time as I could with Eva at the L family's house, then when summer vacation ended, I left City A and returned to my hometown, where my parents live. My childhood friend, Miko-chan, is a distant relative of the L family. Could she be connected to Eva's lineage? Might she be tormented by nightmares the way Eva was? Wanting to find out as soon as possible, I hurried home. I apologize for my clumsy writing and the abrupt ending. By the way, it turns out Miko-chan has never had a mermaid nightmare. Every August, children in a particular area of City A flock to the L family, pleading for some sort of purification rite. Yet no one ever explains the full circumstances. They simply cry that they want an exorcism, purification, or cleansing, anything at all, to save their children. Hundreds of children were affected as of last year, and so the L family prepared for the worst and decided that perhaps they should take steps to eliminate the root cause of the uproar. The men of the M family, led by Kai-san, whose investigative skills rival those of a detective agency, began examining City A, using the addresses of those troubled clients as clues. And that was how the L family and M family discovered that for the past 5 years, a girl named Eva had been attending AAA elementary school in City A every July, for just 1 month of trial enrollment. 2. That was when the L family and M family gave me an outrageous request: go undercover at AAA elementary. Compared to the last time I posed as a temporary student, a single month is a short period. But transferring without knowing anything about the real situation felt terrifying. Eva was in 5th grade. I was also in 5th grade. Apparently, it was better for me to get close to her than for someone directly from the L family. On my first day at the new school, I encountered Eva in the principal's office. She was so beautiful, her face, hair, and eyes were unlike anything typically seen in Japan. There was a distinctive aura about her. When we stepped out of the principal's office, the hallway was jammed with children, practically the entire school, all eager for their once-a-year chance to see Eva again. Eva possessed a mesmerizing quality that drew everyone in, almost like some religious leader. Outside of class time, she was constantly busy doing fortune-tellings for a never-ending line of students seeking her advice. She even asked to do a reading for me, and when I tried to decline, Eva grabbed my arm. "Come to my home, please," she said in halting Japanese. But it felt more like she was carefully choosing her words to convey something important rather than simply struggling with the language. All at once, I saw something overlap with Eva's form. A fish? No, a person? I decided to go to Eva's house with Kai-san, the most trustworthy person I knew. Eva was staying at the home of her Japanese mother's parent, Eva's grandmother. Apparently, her mother had sent Eva alone to Japan. Eva's grandmother, still quite young for her 50s, was clearly anxious. I was planning to visit the L family myself. "But if I do that, I'll have to leave City A too," she said. "Why would you have to leave?" asked Kai-san. "Because our ancestors were once given protection by the L family's ancestors, who allowed them to settle here on this land. It's part of our family code never to burden them. I'm sure you've noticed, our lineage is a matrilineal family where the men pass away young. Life in this family is harsh for any male. My daughter is suffering because of it, too. My daughter, Eva's mother, is caring for Eva's father overseas. If she leaves his side, he's sure to die. Our fate is to be unable to live with men, that's just how we are. And sadly, because Eva was born into a mix of foreign blood and ours, she's bearing an even heavier burden. She was born with an incredibly strong power." 3. Does that power have anything to do with why every August there's a sudden spike in children with a deathly aura in this area? asked Kai-san. "Yes. It affects all Japanese children regardless of whether they're boys or girls, simply because Eva is here," the grandmother answered. "Eva was born at a large hospital's maternity ward in City A. This is her homeland. But every infant placed beside her grew weaker and weaker. Because of Eva alone, all the other newborns nearly died. Before everyone started looking at Sari strangely, she forced her own discharge and left Japan with Eva. It seems Eva's powers are neutralized once she's outside Japan. So for me, spending summers together with my granddaughter here was my one true joy in life. Are you suggesting we kill Eva? The grandmother suddenly asked Kai-san, with a directness that caught me off guard. Why would you say that? Kai-san asked, sounding more curious than shocked. Because Eva is dangerous, isn't she? If so, then please kill me, too. If I'm going to lose my granddaughter, I'd rather die together with her. The adults' conversation played out while Eva and I cooled ourselves on the veranda. When I first met you, I was happy, Eva said. Me, like you. Same. Yeah, I responded. But, that dream, I don't have it. Me, should I live? Is it okay, if I live? Which? Eva flopped onto her back on the veranda. It's true Eva had a mysterious power that attracted people. Yet if she actually stole people's life force, even unconsciously, I would have sensed a sinister aura about her. But there was nothing like that at all. You should definitely live, I told her. As long as you're alive, you have every right to live. With those words, I promised to become Eva's friend and prepared to go home. Again, I caught a glimpse of fish scales or maybe a human figure superimposed over Eva as she waved goodbye. Later, when I told Kai-san about seeing a fish image overlap with Eva, he murmured quietly. Eva might be a yabikuni. A yabikuni? A woman who supposedly ate mermaid flesh. The legend says that anyone who eats mermaid flesh gains eternal youth and life. Is that a legend around here in City A? No. This place isn't anywhere near the sea, so if anyone ate mermaid flesh, it would have gone rotten from lack of freshness. They'd get food poisoning and that'd be it. No eternal life there, he joked as he drove me home. 4. It was the day after Marine Day. Eva arrived at school late, looking extremely unwell. The teacher took her straight to the nurse's office. That was the beginning. Suddenly, in the stifling heat of the classroom, I felt a chill and began trembling. It was as if my body had been chilled from spending too long in the pool, yet I was just sitting there with everyone else, waiting for the teacher to come back. And it wasn't just the classroom, the hallway felt suffocating, too. Before I knew it, I heard sirens, and an ambulance pulled up in front of the school. Apparently, the school nurse had called 119. Dread weighed on me as I headed toward the nurse's office. With each step, my feet felt heavier. Right before my eyes, paramedics were dragging students and staff out of the nurse's office, performing CPR. One bed by the window was hidden by a curtain. Eva, I shouted, yanking the curtain aside. There was Eva, tossing and turning. Eva, wake up. Come on, wake up. I slapped her cheeks gently, trying desperately to rouse her. At that moment, it felt like the whole world flipped upside down, and I collapsed in a heap. Reality twisted. My body felt like it was being cut into pieces, numbness spreading. Terror overwhelmed me. I was going to be killed. Somebody help me. Me. I did something bad again. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Eva slipped off the bed and climbed onto the windowsill. I wanted to scream no. But my voice wouldn't come out. My entire body refused to move. I saw a mermaid perched on the windowsill, looking back at me. Why was there a mermaid here? Then that mermaid jumped. No, it wasn't a mermaid. It was Eva. 5. Because Eva jumped from the second-floor nurse's office onto the grass, she only suffered a concussion. 5 people, including me, who was left confused by my vision of a mermaid, and Eva, who had jumped, were taken to the hospital together. The moment Kai-san arrived, I told him that Eva had been thrashing around as if stuck in a nightmare. I think her nightmares have a direct effect on the other kids around her, I said. But Eva vanished soon after, taken away by her grandmother. They disappeared without a trace, presumably to avoid causing more problems for the L family or the people of City A. At the L family's request, Kai-san and the other men of the M family investigated Eva's grandmother's home. In Eva's room, they found a multitude of drawings of mermaids. Deeper in, they discovered increasingly gruesome drawings of mermaids being dissected. According to Kai-san, Eva was probably seeing nightmares of herself being killed as a mermaid. I shared my personal theory with Mako-san, a spiritual medium in the L family, although I admitted I might be off base. Could Eva's ancestors have been an unusual lineage of shamans? People who roamed Japan without regard for the social norms of their era, practicing shamanism. Whether those powers were ancient or something entirely new is unclear, but apparently they were abnormal. They could heal people, but they could also drain a person's vitality. Yet they never flaunted that power nor meddled with politics or used it to aid those in power behind the scenes. At some point, they were mocked by other established shamans or religious practitioners and called yabikuni, women who had eaten mermaid flesh. Over time, Many of these peculiar shamans gave up their practice. But one of the women sought the protection of the L family. 6. And so, quietly, this lineage of shamans survived. This is likely the maternal line to which Eva belongs. There's no doubt that, whether due to that power or something else, they've consistently suffered from mermaid nightmares. When their peers found out, they were told they were fools who gained power by eating mermaid flesh and ridiculed or despised, or worse, everyone else grew fearful of being cursed by the mermaid themselves. Really, it's all just baseless rumors and paranoia. But imagine a secretive group who see nothing but mermaid nightmares. That alone was enough to sow fear. Probably, neither Eva nor her grandmother nor their ancestors ever opened up about it to anyone. Sometime after they went missing, Eva's grandmother was found dead at her husband's grave. It was suicide. Even though she'd decided to leave City A, she must have been unable to leave her husband behind. Eva appeared alone at the L family's place, confessing that whenever she experiences a mermaid nightmare, she saps energy from the local Japanese children. She pleaded for a way to get rid of her power as soon as possible, or if that was impossible, a way of life that wouldn't bring harm to anyone. She bowed her head, begging for help. "Don't worry, the L family welcomes you with open arms," the medium of the L family said. "But you won't be able to leave until everything is settled. Are you prepared for that?" "Yes," Eva replied. I couldn't help wondering why the L family was going so far to protect the lineage of Eva's family. When I voiced my curiosity, Kai-san, who seems to know everything, told me. The L family's archives are overflowing with materials on mermaids and yabikuni.